Good morning. This video is for Watchtower, and it came about because there's so much bad religion out there that many people are losing their faith, and you begin to wonder, is there any good religion out there? Well, there's a simple rule, and I'm going to apply it to Watchtower. Just a couple of examples, because otherwise I could be here all day. And we'll start off in Matthew chapter 7. Now, Jesus had been talking about us asking for things that we need from God, and Jesus assured us that God would give us good things. And consequently, in verse 12, Jesus said, "So always treat others as you would like them to treat you." So let's apply this rule to Watchtower. Supposing somebody breaks into Bethel and causes mayhem, and a governing body member gets badly injured in the process. It's dark, but the governing body member believes that he knows who has caused the trouble. He gets put in hospital because he's so badly injured, and he claims that so-and-so has caused this trouble. So we go to so-and-so and we say, "Did you cause these injuries?" And so-and-so says, "No, it didn't." So we go back to the governing body member in hospital and we say to him, "Look, there's only one witness to this injury. You cannot go to the police. You cannot go anywhere for help. You mustn't talk about it, because if you speak about this to anybody, we will accuse you of slander and we will disfellowship you, and we will throw you out of Bethel with no support, no family, no friends. You'll be destitute." Is that what you would like us to do to you, governing body? No, of course not. So why are you doing it to other people? Why have you done this to young people? And by the way, that reasoning that if someone talks about something which is true, that you view it as slander, is ridiculous. I don't know where you got that idea from. Anyway, let's have another example. Supposing somebody doesn't like a governing body member. So they stir up feeling against you. They trump up charges, and they find a couple of people who say, yes, he did this, that, and the other. And so you have the two witnesses, and behind your back, we're going to trump up these charges, we're going to declare you guilty, and then we're going to pounce on you and say you've got to come to this judicial hearing. We're not going to tell you what you're accused of. You can't defend yourself, because if you try defending yourselves, it means that you're not repentant, and consequently you'll be disfellowshipped. So you'll be disfellowshipped anyway. So we'll throw you out of Bethel without any support from family or friends. Once again, you'll be destitute. Is that what you want us to do to you behind your back? That's what you're doing to other people. So as Jesus said, you are treating other people in a way that you do not want to be treated yourself. So you are very much like the person in the third letter of John. The Apostle John wrote about this person, Diotrephes, and it says he seems to enjoy being in charge of the congregation, and he refused to accept John, and he made wicked accusations against John. So then he also tried to throw out of the congregation all those that wanted to welcome John and his fellow Christians. So John says in verse 11, "Never follow such a bad example, but keep following the good one." So Watchtower, we're not going to follow your bad example, and we're going to say to you, look, your religion is not Christianity when you're doing these things. If you can't get the basic Christian rule to do to others as you would like to be treated, then we can't trust you with any other thing. We can't trust you with doctrine or anything. So what must you do? Well, in Ezekiel 33, this is where Ezekiel was told by God to go to a wicked person and explain what his sin was in hopes that he would change. And in verses 14 and 15 it says this, that the wicked person must renounce his sin and do what is lawful and right. He must return pledges, restore what he has stolen, keep the law that give life, and stop committing sin. So what we want you to do, Watchtower, is to repent and make restitution. It's unlikely that you're going to do it. So where does that leave the rest of us? Is there good religion out there? Well, Grace very kindly reminded me of a verse in 1 John chapter 2 and verse 27, and I'll read it from Philip's translation. And it's in verse 27. John says, I had to write to you about those men who are trying to lead you astray. And Watchtower, you have led so many elders astray. Yet, those of us who have not been led astray, John says, I know that the touch of his Spirit never leaves you. And you don't really need a human teacher. You know that his Spirit teaches you about all things, always telling you the truth, never telling you a lie. So as the Spirit has taught us, live continually in God's Spirit. We need a teacher to begin with, obviously. We need Jesus' words to be explained to us if we don't understand them. There's many ways we can find out what Jesus meant by the commentaries, and faithful men of old have told us what to believe and what to understand from Jesus' words. We get God's Spirit by reading the Gospels, by reading the words of the Apostle Paul and the Apostle John and so on. Once we've got that Spirit, then we know what's good and bad. Christianity is a very quiet religion. Yes, we want to give other people the hope that we have, but basically it's doing to others as we want them to do to us, to be kind, to be loving, and to help where it's needed. So don't give up on faith. There is good faith out there, and one day we'll see the fruition of it when the end of the world comes and God's kingdom takes over. Thank you so much for watching this morning, and take care.